I mean, just seeing you fly, playing with Arctic Monkeys, like looking forward
Yeah,
to more stuff like that coming out.
yeah, man. It should be. I've got a lot of that in my. I've got this actually. I just found before when I was got that. I was trying to figure out who it was, and then I looked.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that's. I don't know whose it was, but it's got on the back. It's got like a amp. I don't know if you'll be able to see it. So it's got like amp settings.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So I'm guessing it's. But
So
yeah.
for audio listeners, that's Arctic Monkeys set list from
Oh,
about
sorry. Yeah, yeah,
2005.
yeah. It probably would have been Nottingham. I think that one that I posted tonight. I think it might have been that gig.
It's handwritten, so maybe one of the band wrote it. I don't
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
That's amazing.
Honestly, that was tucked down the back. I've got like in the back of my diary, there's like a little kind of pocket bit. I nearly threw it away, just pulled it out, and I was like, nah, what's that? And then it's like fake tails. It says fake tails, like fake tails, fake tails, fake tails. Fake tails. So yeah, cool. Keep that for a bit.
So did you know like there was obviously a bit of a buzz about them at that point? Were you? Is that why you saved it? Because you knew there was going to be a
Yeah,
bit
I
of
saved everything though, man.
a
Like I've
big
saved
band.
like you see some of the crap I've got. It's honestly. Um, yeah, I've got some really crap flyers. Um, yeah, but yeah, they were. I mean, you remember, right? They were like,
Yeah, I
did
went to see him around that time because on
did
his
you?
flyer it says 4 quid. I remember seeing him in Hull for about 6 quid.
Did you? Yeah.
Silhouettes, yeah, in Hull.
Oh, what was that like?
Yeah, class. I mean, I remember like there's all the hype about them, obviously, from just like the MySpace recordings and stuff. It's one of those tours. It's like I think Oasis did the same, where they booked a small venue tour, and then in the meantime got big before they played them.
Yeah,
It felt
yeah,
like that
that's
anyway.
right. Yeah,
But
I
yeah,
remember we kind of, I think on one sort of, like I say tour, like for us, like sounds really grand. We're probably in the back of a van on an old mattress. Do you know what I mean? On one jaunt round like up north and then back down. Later on, I think we went up to play a couple of gigs, and they were properly like just taking off like everywhere you look, man. It was like, and we played a gig in a vet. I can't remember where it was. It might have been Wigan or something. Yeah, I think it was Wigan. We played quite a big venue, and that's when I knew like something was going on because like big, big, big. They played the night before, and we went in to play like to do the sound check and stuff to set up, and everyone's just like in shock. Like all the staff that were there, were just like, I was like, was it good last night? Yeah, man, it was just like it's a bit mad. I think they said it was just not people just couldn't get in. They just
mm.
and that's what you said, isn't it? So they'd sold the tickets, sold out because they were good, and then got massive, and people just like, oh, I've got to see this gig because we're not going to see them in this venue again.
Yeah, yeah.
That
How
was
many gigs did you play with them?
I think just one maybe.
Okay.
I don't know though. I'm not very good at stuff like this. It was before I started writing my diary. It was when I was just collecting flyers and stuff. I wish that was. I remember bits and bobs about it. It was once or twice. I can't remember if we played with them up north. There was a gig that we played with. I think there was a couple of gigs that we played with. Reverend and the Makers.
Yeah.
They were, and I can't remember if the Arctic Monkeys played that gig or not. There were some of them were there. I don't know if they played it.
Okay. And were you into them? Because like talking to people like Tom and Lloyd from the Paddingtons, they weren't really having Arctic Monkeys at the time.
I wasn't really. In all honesty, I wasn't really like. I could see why people like them. I loved I think at that time, I haven't really listened to them that much recently, but like at that time, I think it was definitely there was a songwriting thing going on, wasn't there? Like the lyrics were very much the thing. Um, I wasn't writing. I don't know, man. I just didn't really. I didn't dislike them. I just didn't really feel what everyone else was feeling. I thought they were a great band, like live. They were great. They were really good. But music, that just the tunes, you either feel it or you don't. And for me, it's just kind of, eh, I was much more into the Strokes and the Cribs.
Yeah, it felt like those first wave of bands weren't really that bothered about Arctic Monkeys kind of thing.
I think
Maybe
that's
it's
it.
like a
I don't
separate
know.
scene almost.
It felt a bit separate. It felt, I don't know. Maybe I'm going to sound a bit pretentious. It did feel a bit secondary. I don't know. And do you know what? They'll probably tell you. Well, no, they're not going to speak to me, that's for sure. But They're probably kicking around before we were, but yeah, I don't know. Just there was a few people that I would speak to about them as well who would, this is terrible. I'm not going to slag anyone off. They would sort of say like the marketing thing was a little bit more than it was saying it was. Like they came out with this, oh, they've made friends on MySpace and they've got massive because of MySpace. But I don't know. Maybe there was a point where that was a good story to build on. Yeah, it was true. It's definitely true. I don't know. I don't want to say too much, man, because everyone's going to hate me. He hates them. I don't hate them at all.
No,
They're
yeah,
a
fair
great
play.
band, man. They deserve it. They've like, and do you know what? Like a band to come from that scene to make it as big. They're massive now, aren't they? They're massive.
Yeah, yeah.
Amazing, man. That's amazing. Well done to them. They were a bit younger than me. I was really jealous. It's like younger, better guitars. Yeah, I don't like them.
I think Tom admitted that. Tom from Paddington, he was like, yeah, there's a bit of resentment going on. I think
Yeah,
maybe.
I think that's why I've got. I think it was a bit of jealousy. Like, oh man, that was meant to be us, and it's them. They were
Whereas
good. Good
whereas
band.
Lloyd just says he sounds like George Formby, so he's not interested.
Oh mate, well, yeah, I'm not going to argue. Wasn't
And
there?
then it peaked probably with when we supported Arctic Monkeys, when Ted moved the night from Welly over to Silhouettes, and I started working for him then as well, and doing a bit of DJing and setting up the club. And again, I just wanted to be involved in music. So I was like, any job going that I could do that was loosely associated with, being in a band, promoting gigs or whatever. So I used to help him out. And then obviously this band that everyone had heard that was yeah, off the charts with in terms of buzz and hype. And
Mm.
I managed to convince him to put us on first. Like,
Yes. Good night, that.
oh mate, it was, I think
£6, I think it was.
it was, yeah. And do you remember when like you'd pay whatever it was and you'd get a couple of free drinks tokens as well?
Yeah, something mental, yeah.
It was like, I mean, God, we could talk about the price of beer till but yeah, but I think for me, because the lads carried on after I left to go down south for a bit, but that was the peak of like being in the band that we had going on in Hull. And I think I don't know if we flipped it then, if it was still the Applewhites or if it was, because then we had a bit of time off and then changed the bass player and came back as the Cherry Club Cartel.
Mm.
But anyway, again, like fuzzy memory, but that gig was the best. I mean, it was sold out, 450, maybe 500 people. Ted managed to cram into Silhouettes.
Yeah.
And we must have gone on to like nearly full capacity as well.
Mm.
It was just absolutely bonkers. And then when the Monkeys went on, it just,
Yeah,
yeah,
so good, yeah.
so good. And then, we all knew what happened to the Monkeys. They just went on and on and on and on.